Do you want to wait around for the circumstances in our world to change so you can finally be happy? Or do you want to learn what to do to make yourself happy? I know you've heard that happiness is a choice. That can be so irritating and annoying depending on who's saying it. The first step that I'm going to share with you about how to make yourself happy is to understand the psychology behind happiness, which includes choice and responsibility. What is it that we have choice about? Because sometimes we don't feel happy, and to have someone imply that can kind of get us fired up as we say, why would I ever choose this if I'm not happy? Understanding how your mind processes your experiences will help you to see how happiness is quite literally a choice. I'm not going to get into all the psychology behind that on this particular video, but I do have a resource for you. This is called Portable Positivity. It's a little mini book. It's so cute, and it fits inside of a pocket or in your purse really easily. In this book, I have described the model that I'm talking about. You can get a free copy of this, drpauljenkins.info/ and then the title, Portable Positivity. Go grab it, look at the model, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. What this model helps you to do is understand how to operate the equipment of your own mind so that you'll see how happiness is a choice. You don't get to choose what happens to you. Have you noticed? Some of that stuff just happens. But you do get to choose how your mind then processes your experiences, and that's all explained in the mini book. There's also an element of responsibility that's important to understand right up front. It's not anyone's responsibility to make me happy. This is something I go into in detail when I do couples coaching, because they think that it's their spouse's responsibility to make them happy. It's not. It's your responsibility to make yourself happy. That's on you. And I think understanding the psychology is going to help, but that personal responsibility is absolutely essential. Otherwise, you continue to wait for or expect or demand that other people or circumstances change in order for you to be happy. And that's a trap. It is a trap. It will have you constantly waiting for, I'll be happy when. That's a trap. So watch out for that. Personal responsibility. And pay attention to the definition of happiness too, because it does not mean free from pain or challenge. In fact, I think that's an essential element of happiness when we really understand what it is. It doesn't mean that you're going to be carefree and nothing is going to happen that pushes you or challenges you. It means that regardless of what happens in your life, you can take a position that allows you to experience joy and happiness. It's really more about your internal state. That's why my first tip is all about understanding the psychology behind it. Now let's get practical. My second suggestion on what to do to make yourself happy is to plan and protect your free time. Think about what I'm saying here, because we divide up our time among a lot of different demands, right? I took a course from Dan Sullivan, who is the strategic coach. And he really teaches this principle for entrepreneurs, but I think it applies to all of us, where we get so sucked into doing our job, taking care of our family, making sure we meet our obligations here and there and everywhere, that we lose an important part of experiencing happiness and joy, and that is when we get to have free time. Now let's define that. Free time means that you are free from all of those obligations for a brief period of time, where you get to disconnect. And Dan suggests that we do this for at least 24 hours. And I don't know if you've got that kind of a chunk of time available to you. You can start small if you want to, where you disconnect completely. Some people sabotage this because they plan their free time, but then they take their device along with them and they check in on their email and they try to keep up with their obligations while they're doing it. No, disconnect. Free time is all about rejuvenation. Take a look at the word for a minute. Rejuvenation has the same root as the word juvenile, and it basically means to make young again. What if we could make you young again? Would that be awesome? The energy and the enthusiasm for life that can return when we feel rejuvenated. So your free time is all about rejuvenation and focusing on your key relationships. That's what it's all about. This brings perspective and it helps you to feel and experience joy. My third suggestion to you is also very practical. Take care of the equipment. What equipment? Your mind, your body, this place where you live. Take care of it. What that means is you get to have enough sleep, you get to have a good balanced diet, you get to engage in regular exercise. Those three things at a minimum: sleep, diet, exercise. Take care of the equipment. I'm not going to get into all the reasons why this is important. It's probably obvious to you. This is absolutely essential to our happiness. When this isn't feeling good, happiness is elusive. It's hard to hang on to. So take care of the equipment. Tip number 4, slow down. Slow down. We're moving way too fast. Would you agree? It feels like we're at a frenzied pace a lot of times, and that steals away our happiness and our joy. Push the pause button. In accordance with this, also be present. There are studies that have shown us that psychologically speaking, when we're not experiencing peace and happiness and joy, it's because our mind has been sucked into the past, where we experience depression and shame and guilt. Or we get sucked into the future, where we experience anxiety and fear and apprehension. When we can keep our mind fully present, we feel peace and joy and happiness, or at least it's more likely, even if what we're doing right now we're not particularly engaged in. But what if we could be? Let's say that you're doing the dishes, for example. What a mundane task. It would be easy to let my mind just go to what happened yesterday, or get sucked into, I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. Bring it back. Be present. Remember, we're going to slow down. We're not going to rush into tomorrow. We're not going to dwell in the past. Just be right here. So if you're doing the dishes, feel the water. Notice that the dishes are dirty, which means that you have food and that you've been able to eat. And feel that. Be in the moment. Be present. One of the definitions of the word present is gift. What an amazing gift that you can give to yourself and to the people that you love. What if you were fully present? Slow down. Be present. Powerful. My last suggestion to you about making yourself happy is to forget about yourself a little bit. I know this sounds a little counterintuitive, but there are solid psychological reasons that turning our focus outward to others and to what they're experiencing and how we might be able to enhance or enrich the experience of somebody else actually creates feelings inside of us that most people describe as being happiness or joy. It's amazing to me that it can be that simple. I remember a client of mine who had called me in a crisis. He was actually visiting in another city where he was to be a keynote speaker in a big conference. But he was so depressed that he couldn't even leave his hotel room. He was having suicidal thoughts. He was stuck in a really dark place, and so he called me. I was just about to go in with another client, so I didn't have a lot of time to talk to him right then, but I gave him an assignment. I said, here's what I want you to do. I don't care if you feel like doing it. I just want you to do it. Put something on, go down to the hotel lobby, and make a meaningful difference in 2 people's lives. I'll call you back in an hour. Go do it. Now, he was a little resistant at first, but he was open to it. And he didn't have anything else to do at the moment, and so he did it. What do you think happened? You know what happened. He came back an hour later. As I called him back after my appointment ended, I called him back. And I said, how you doing? What happened? He said, I did what you asked me to do, Doc. I went down to the hotel lobby and I found a woman down there who was struggling to get these 3 big bags out the door so that she could load them into her car as she was departing the hotel. It was really easy to just go over and help her with one of those bags. How did you feel? I asked him. Oh, Doc, you know, I wasn't sure that this would make a difference when you told me to do it. But as I was helping her, I completely forgot about my own problems for a few minutes. Yeah, have you experienced this as well? And then he told me about another experience he had. He had made a meaningful difference for 2 people within that hour. The depression lifted enough that he could get himself up and go do what he needed to do. And it may have also saved his life. I'm not sure that I want to push it to that extent, but I know that this has saved lives before, and it may have saved his. Get outside of yourself. Look for somewhere to serve. It's a powerful way to make yourself happy. You may not have known that we've got all kinds of resources available for you in your personal development. Making yourself happy? Yeah, we can help you with that. Come on over to Live on Purpose Central, drpauljenkins.com, and join our community of support for conscious people like you.
Her head was down, face locked onto the phone.